Welcome to another Warhammer 40,000 battle report here at Slider Games. Today we have a 1250 point Tempest of War battle using the Arcs of Omen updates. Today we are doing a Claim the Battlefield primary mission. So you get 5 points for controlling one objective, controlling 2 or more objectives. They also get another 5, and then you get 2 victory points for each objective marker that is currently claimed. And you do this action with an infantry or objective secured unit on an objective. Once you claim it, it is yours until the opponent takes it. And then we have this Crucible of Battle deployment zone. So works out really nice for this giant piece of terrain. This will be basically a starting zone for somebody. And then over here in this kind of area with the landing platform. So we do have 5 objectives. This is the home objective over here with the landing platform. One here close to the middle of the battlefield. Another one off here on this flank, and then, this one over here in no man's land. And then finally, this is the home objective in the middle level of this thing, so you can be on top or below and be within 5 inches to claim that objective. And today, my Tyranids, the Hive Mind, has returned again to battle, and facing them will be the Imperial Fists. John is back. I like pan to here, and then I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, pan up a little bit higher. So Imperial Fists. Yeah. How is Imperial Fists aren't top tier right now?
No, they're probably bottom 2 space marines, so, but we do what we can.
Yeah, exactly. But they're beautiful. They've been on the channel before. Yeah, they're spectacularly painted. So tell me why you chose Imperial Fists initially.
I liked the lore, like kind of that fortification and stuff, and kind of always loyal to a fault almost. But also, I also wanted to challenge myself with yellow. I know yellow can be kind of difficult to paint, so I'm like, both these things align with the Imperial Fist. Let's just go with them.
Yeah, right on. That's an awesome way to choose. That's how I like to choose my armies. Not like how well they do on the battlefield, but like. For me, Tau, I love range attacks, and I like when I play games, I don't generally do like magic users. So in 40K, that's psychic, and they don't have any psychic, so that's what drew me to them originally. But yeah, I love hearing about why people choose their armies. But that being said, we have some very, very beautiful Imperial Fists who are about to be consumed by the Hive Mind, or they will destroy the Hive Mind. I don't know. We'll see. Let's look at the armies. This is exactly 1250 points of my custom Hive Fleet Baraxas. We are a splinter of Hive Fleet Kraken, so we get an additional AP-1 anytime that we charge, and we've swapped out their secondary trait for an extra +1 inch on our charge rolls. In charge today is our Brood Lord. He is the only Psyker I've brought today. I wanted to go Psyker Light mode with this army, but he does have Smite, obviously, Synaptic Lore, which is the Kraken specific power, and then he does have Onslaught, so he can cast that on a friendly unit that has advanced, and they can still charge in that turn. Joining him in our Arcs of Omen detachment, we have 3 squads of warriors, 2 squads with dual bone swords and death spitters, with this one guy having a venom cannon. Those 2 squads do have adrenal glands as well, and then this squad with scything talons and devours, they have toxin sacks, so their melee weapons will auto wound on rolls of 6. Then we have 3 units of Gene Stealers, a big squad of 10 here in the back, and then 2 squads of 5. We do have Acid Maws in those units. I count those guys with the little like Cthulhu tentacle heads. Those are my Acid Maw models. Then we do have a Tyrannifex with a not a Death Spitter, a Acid Spray. And he has Dermic Symbiosis for a 4-up and vulnerable save. I had 5 points left over, so he also has Toxin Sacks. So his 4 attacks, if he rolls any 6s, will auto wound. And then finally, we have a Trigon. I did give him Adrenal Glands as well, so he's up to Strength 8. So he'll be coming up from underground to hopefully destroy something. But yeah, very heavy, melee focus here with the Gene Stealers and the Trigon. And the dual Bone Swords are also going to basically be my anti-tank, as well as the Trigon. So let's take a look at what they'll be facing with the Imperial Fists. This is 1245 points of Imperial Fists. Beautifully painted Imperial Fists, I might add. But yeah, where do you want to start here? What do we have?
Yeah, we'll start with the characters here. So leading the army for my warlord is my Tech Marine. He is a master of the forge, so he will be healing up 3 wounds on vehicles, or a vehicle. I had given him the Fleet Master warlord trait, so he'll be able to call down a bombardment on his enemies as long as he stays still, as well as giving the Eye of the Hypnoth relic, so it gets to reroll wound rolls of 1 core around him. Beside him is my lovely captain, donning his relic shield and power sword. He also has the legendary Hand of Dorn, so I'll get an additional D3 command points. And then as well as the Evoxa Spiritum, so he'll add 3 inches to his reroll hit rolls of 1 ability. As well as he is a chapter master, so I'll be able to choose a core character or chapter character within 6 inches for 4 rerolls.
Nice.
In front of them, we have in their debut game my heavy intercessors, loaded out with the Executor bolt rifles, so the heavy variety with some 42-inch range, so I'll be able to maybe pop off some of these Tyranids before they get close to us.
Yeah, we're very short range.
And the one there is upgraded with the Executor Heavy Bolter, so additional shot and additional damage on that gun.
Nice.
To the right then we have just a standard set of intercessors with auto bolt rifles. Sergeant has the Power Fist upgrade, as you do with Imperial Fists. And then also has a grenade launcher in there as well.
Cool.
Going behind them then, we have my Whirlwind, which has the Vengeance launcher. So strength 7, non-line of sight needed to be able to pepper some shots in. Also has a single hunter-killer missile, so we'll see how that rolls. Then moving on, we have the Invictor Warsuit. So we'll see how that goes. Might forward deploy it a little bit. We'll see what the landscape looks like. But what you see is what you get there. We have the autocannon to pepper some shots and maybe hold down the front line a little bit as the rest of the army catches up. Beside then, we have the trusty Redemptor. We'll see if it lasts longer than a round or two this match, but also has the Plasma Incinerator, and then the Stormbolter variant upgraded there. And then my tank on the side there, my Repulsor Executioner, with the Heavy Laser Destroyer, basically the gun platform, as many guns as you can get on the vehicle. And then I did forget to mention my Eradicators here on the right side, one with the multi-melta, but then all having the heavy melta rifle upgrade as well.
Very nice. Yeah, I've said it before. I'll probably say it like a dozen more times, but yeah, beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Yeah, you chose them to challenge yourself, and yeah, you have executed very well with the painting on these guys. Yeah, awesome stuff. Love them. I also love that Tech Marine a lot. It'll pain me to consume them, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Let's look at deployment. We have deployed our armies over here with the Tyranids. Most of my stuff is on this flank because there are 2 relatively close objectives. So I've got the Scything Talon Warriors, the Broodlord Tyrannifex, and a forward unit of Gene Stealers over here, looking to get... the Warriors can get to this objective immediately if they want to, or we can push down to that objective later on if we need to do that. Tyrannifex is just here to, soak up some aggression, hopefully, to let the other little guys get through, or if not, then, he's there to blast some stuff. But that's kind of the idea over here. I do have the big squad of Gene Stealers, the 10-man squad, the dual bone sword squad without the venom cannon warriors in strategic reserve, and then the the Trigon is underground in deep strike reserve, essentially. In the back, we do have the venom cannon squad of warriors. They are in range, so they can move up onto this objective on the first turn. They're back here because of these guys in their 42-inch range. So they have my home objective in range, and my gun range is not long enough to shoot them from here, so they're going to hold back for at least a turn. If I do go second, they won't get shot immediately. And then finally forward deployed the other squad of Gene Sealers up here on this objective. We do count these weird pipes as line of sight blocking, so they're actually protected from fire from the other side. So that's my footprint to start. So most of my stuff is clustered on one flank, hoping to press up into those objectives. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Over here, what's going on with the Imperial Fists and this structure that they've possibly thrown together in the last 25 minutes?
Yeah, they're fortifying it, right? So we got the heavy intercessors on top to kind of have that nice view of the landscape and relay that information down, but have the range of the weapons to try and take out some threats from high above.
Yep.
We got the whirlwind behind that's kind of just going to be peppering firepower all over the board. I think it has range for the entire board.
Yeah.
So that's nice. Got the captain with his Redemptor, going to probably move up on the left flank. And then kind of similar to the Tyranid state of the board on the right, we have a good bit of firepower between the Repulsor Executioner to kind of move with the board and try and mow down some of these lighter targets, but also the big guy there. Then we have my Warsuit has infiltrated up the board just slightly, try and get a little bit of an edge to have some of that board control there.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting flank. So the tank was the last drop. I was totally deployed, which obviously I knew it was an option to come over here, but I didn't know what else to do. I mean, I need to get objectives, and these two are the closest together, so I figured I'd just put enough bodies over here that I can hopefully weather the storm and get onto the objectives and maybe have an answer for that tank in battle round 2 or 3, maybe. We'll see what our reserves can do. But yeah, that's it. It's going to be interesting if we can shift the Imperial Fists out of this structure that they are fortifying. These guys are basically going to be untouchable for me because I don't have anything that can fly. So yeah, they're pretty much up there. I don't have a lot of guns to shoot them off of that unless the terrain effect somehow survives and meanders his way over there eventually. That's pretty much going to be the only option for that. But yeah, should be interesting. If you have a die, sir, we can roll off here to see who goes first after you.
Got a 3.
He's got a 3, slightly below average. Let's see. I also got a 3. All right. Yeah, we're not going to use the same one. Those ones are locked internally into a tie.
Oh, we got a 4.
That's 4. Moving up. A 3. Okay. So you are first with the Imperial Fists. Let's see what they can do in battle round 1. Tech Marine Varys Dolata has issued his orders. No prisoners. Just kill the Tyranids, destroy 30 wounds worth of models. Then we have investigate site, do an action wholly within the center of the battlefield. That's a tricky one. And then finally, no retreat, no surrender. This is achievable. However, the captain and the dreadnought are within range of an objective, so to score that this turn, they wouldn't be able to move. Choices will have to be made. The Imperial Fist movement phase has concluded. What's the plan here?
Yeah, so we're moving up the front line slowly but steadily. Kind of moving our dreadnoughts and our warsuits up the battlefield, kind of a little bit. The repulsor is being cautious and moves into range with its gun, but does not put the throttle the whole way down. We've moved the whirlwind just slightly back to help kind of cover that as they're kind of scanning the area for any type of burrowing holes from the Tyranids that might come later.
Deep strike, pushing the deep strike bubble back.
And then our Overwatch lords here, the heavy intercessors, have just stayed on the objective to start claiming it for the objective this turn.
The mission objective there to claim that. Look good. These guys did advance. They rolled a 6, so they are in position next turn possibly to do the investigate site action for a secondary. And since these guys did move forward off of this objective, we'll not be getting no retreat, no surrender this turn either. So board presence, I would have moved them too. That's, you don't want to just leave them sitting back there. So board presence is more important, but 3, no prisoners might, if you can kill this, I guess no prisoners would even be an option in battle round 2. But 2 objectives, secondary objectives, definitely in position to score in the second battle round. Looks good. So pressing forward, pushing their sphere of influence out towards the Tyranid lines. Let's go to shooting phase. Moving along in the shooting phase, these guys fired in. Even with only 3 of them in line of sight, they did take out 3 of the Gene Stealers, so only 2 left. And so the Whirlwind has decided to finish off the Gene Stealers. Let's see if he can make it happen.
Yep, so 2d3 shots. So that's 3 shots.
3 shots. All right.
4 ups because they don't have line of sight.
Yep.
No,
okay.
Nothing.
They survive. All right. We got lucky, Gene Stealers. Nice work. Next up, the Invictus Warsuit is firing everything into these warriors over here with the Scything Talons. I did spend a CP on Reinforced Hive Node to reduce all the incoming damage by 1. But which gun is he starting with?
We'll start with, since they're all going to get reduced to 1 damage, we'll start with the grenade launcher. So D6 attacks. 1 attack.
1, okay.
So looking for a 3 here.
That hits.
We'll hit. Strength of 4.
T5, so 5.
So looking for a 5 to wound.
Got it.
0 AP.
So 4 up. Which I pass. Okay.
All right. We got the heavy bolter next.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 shots. Exploding 6s here. Looking
Yeah,
for 3s.
the bolters.
Ooh, that gets 2 additional hits.
Yeah, so 5. It's not great news for the warriors.
These are strength 5, so looking for 4s.
Just
not great.
1?
Just 1.
Okay. AP -2 on a heavy bolter and Devastator Doctrine.
-2, yep, correct.
Okay, so this will be a 6 up actually, which we fail. So that's 1 damage.
Yep. Then we have the autocannon is a heavy 6. Looking for 3s.
Ooh, a lot of
Pretty
6s
good.
again. But these do not explode because it's not a bolter, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Strength 7s. Looking for 3s here.
Yep. 2.
So 2 at -2.
Okay, so 2 more 6s. No 6s, so 1 warrior is dead.
Alright. And the last is the Twin Iron Hail Heavy Stubber, which is heavy 8. Count these dice. There we go. So 3 to hit.
More 6s. Jeez.
Wow.
That was a good shot.
So that is 6 hits.
6.
Strength 4, so looking for 5s.
5s.
We get
2,
3.
3. Okay, AP on this one.
Is a whopping -2.
Okay, so 3 more 6s. I need a 6 or another warrior dies. We got a 6. So one warrior dies and 1 is down to 1 wound. The Repulsor Executioner has executed the Gene Stealers with all of its small arms, splitting fire majorly though. So the big gun into the Tyranids, some other stuff into these guys. What are we going to next?
We'll go from right to left. So we're gonna put the twin heavy bolter into
The Broodlord.
the Broodlord.
Yep.
So that is heavy 6. So hitting on 2s because of the +1 from the Tiger Marine, and then exploding 6s because of bolt weapon.
Yep.
So 2s exploding 6s.
No 6s, fortunately, and
Still 4 hits.
some misses in there.
Got 4 hits. Strength 5.
T5.
Looking for 4s. Alright.
3.
3 at -2, which gives you your involved.
Yeah, 3 4-ups. Which I make 2. Alright, so he takes 2 wounds, down to 5 remaining.
Alright, we'll move to the warriors there then. So going down the list, we have the heavy onslaught Gatling cannon.
So many guns.
It's literally a
So many
gun
guns.
on hover treads.
Yeah.
So 2s here. Ooh, that's really
good. I only see 1 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
These are strength 6.
So 3 is not not looking good here for the old warriors. There's some 2s in there.
2s, there we go, okay. So you still got 2, 4, 6
6
saves at -2.
6 6s. I've only got 4 wounds left in there, so I need 3 of these. I don't. All right, the warriors are dead as well. And then the Tyranids here.
These are the
big
ones where it really counts.
The big boy.
So yeah, looking for 2s here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Blew up a barrel. Oh, it's
We
a
good?
mystery. It's a mystery. It's a 6. Okay.
6. All right, so we got 2 hits.
2 hits.
That is at strength 12. Yeah, strength 12.
Okay, T8, so 3s to wound. 2 wounds.
If you're at your invuln.
Yeah, so Dermic Symbiosis, so he has a 4-up invulnerable save. Need to make some of these. All right, we got them both. Whew, that was big. All right, we lost the Warriors and the Gene Stealer, so this flank is heavily exposed, but he survived. Broodlord has taken 2 wounds, but that's all from the Tank of Doom. With the Executioner finishing its shooting, that does conclude the shooting phase. So we're moving. The Redemptor is going to try to charge into these 2 Gene Stealers because why not? He needs an 11. He needs an 11. Saw the 6. Got a little concerned. You want to re-roll that?
No.
Okay.
No,
So I'll go ahead. I'll roll their on a 6. They will fail. They're leadership 8 and they're not in synapse range. Okay, so they pass their morale, which does conclude the turn. So no secondaries are scored for the Imperial Fists. You do complete the action up here, so this objective is claimed. So in your next command phase, you will get 2 extra points for that. But we will now move on to Tyranids, turn 1. The Hive Mind's orders have come through. Secure No Man's Land. Control 2 objective markers in No Man's Land, which is achievable, but it would require either my Tyrannifex or my Broodlord to hold an objective. Blood and Guts, kill 3 units in melee combat. That's something I look forward to. And then I drew Investigate Sight as well. I spent a CP and ditched it immediately because I need to score some points at this point since I'm losing units left and right. Extend battle lines. So I need to hold my home objective and an objective in No Man's Land. I can definitely do that. So let's take a look at the movement for the Tyranids. Movement phase has concluded for the Tyranids. I've only got 4 units, so it wasn't super complicated. These guys moved up. They're in range of the objective, so they're going to claim this objective for the Tyranids. Over here, the Gene Stealers, while I'm doing the action to claim this objective, realistically, they're going to die. The Redemptor is going to get on this, so we're going to lose the claim, but they're not doing anything else. Before drawing my cards, my thought was I'd just run them off and kind of suicide charge in there, maybe kill 1 or 2 guys if they didn't die in Overwatch. But that was the plan with them. But now I'm just going to sit on this objective so I can score some secondaries. So I'm going to control this objective for sure in No Man's Land and my home objective, which scores me Extend Battle Lines. There we go. Couldn't remember the name. And then for Secure No Man's Land, I could have easily just moved the Broodlord right here and got the 5 points. However, if he sits here by himself, he's dead next turn for sure. So I went more aggressively. That's kind of my MO with the Tyranids, to my detriment most often. But I auto-advanced. Yeah, I spent the CP for opportunistic advance. So he moved 16 inches up to charge into this. We brought up the Tyrannifex as well. So the idea is charge this guy with both of them to outnumber him. So the problem and the risk I have is I'm going to shoot it with the acid spray. If I kill it with the acid spray, I don't get to charge, I don't get the objective, and we miss the 5 points, and he's still out on his own to get killed. If we can not kill him with shooting, make the charge with both, then he gets protected by the Tyrannifex, we get the objective, and we probably kill him in melee, which will give us a point for Blood and Guts. So that's the plan. It all just relies on a bunch of different things all happening perfectly. So as long as that happens, we're fine. To start it off, we need to get Onslaught off on himself. I need a 6. That passes on a 7. Do you have any way to deny powers?
No.
Okay, so he can charge. All right, so that's it. That's step 1 of the complex plan. It has succeeded. Let's go to shooting. Shooting has commenced. Turn effects. Stinger salvos went in, actually did 1 damage to the Dreadnought. But now we're firing in the acid spray. This is D6 plus 6, strength 6, AP minus 3, 2 damage. He has 13 wounds, so I don't actually want this to be a great roll, but I need it to be good enough that I can kill him in melee. Okay, all right, 8 shots, that's reasonable. You just need to make a couple saves, or I need to fail a couple wounds. All right, 4s to wound, strength 6, T6. That's not what I wanted. Okay, so 8, 6 ups. You have 13 wounds. I need you to make 2 6s. You make 2 6s.
2 6s.
He's got 1.
4, 6, 8, 10. So he's down to 1 wound.
1 wound left. It was perfect. Way to go. Everything, yeah.
That was perfect, yeah.
This plan is all coming together. All right, let's go to the charge phase. After that perfect shooting, we were joking off camera. Technically, John could have spent a CP to re-roll one of the 6s to make himself die to leave me stranded, but he didn't do that. So we're moving to the charge phase. I'm going to charge with the Tyranids first. He and the Broodlord both need a 6-inch to get in with my +1 2 charges, and you are going to overwatch the Tyranids.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do this off camera, just letting you know. Overwatch incoming. We'll come back with the damage done. We're back. Overwatch is over. 2 wounds went through. One of the heavy bolter shots went through, so he's down to 15 wounds. But now he needs a 6-inch charge. That's an 8, so he is in. All right. The plan so far is going well. Now we just need the Broodlord to roll a 6 for the Hive Mind. He is in with an 8. 2 8s. All right, they are both in. We have made it into combat. We're going to start with the Tyranids, actually. He's going to go first, so he needs 3s. He has 4 attacks. He does have Toxin Sac, so 6s auto wound. But they all hit. And his strength is 7, T6, so 3s again. So 4 wounds at AP -1.
So 4 4-ups.
4 4s. He made it all.
I'm going to spend the 2 CP to interrupt.
Okay, yeah. All right. That was, yeah, that's unfortunate. So he's going to spend 2 CP to try to take out the Broodlord. So prior to the interruption, I remembered, he does get an additional AP -1 for charging as part of Kraken's Hive Fleet capability. So the 4 that he rolled to save was actually a fail. So he's taking a CP back for the interrupt, but we're going to roll to see if he explodes, actually.
Oh, man. Nope.
Not an explosion. Okay, so we take him out. No explosion. The Kraken's special abilities saved the Broodlord's life right there. After the Invictor's wreckage collapses to the ground and we chew up this Space Marine inside, this is how we end up after consolidation and pile-in. I needed to move. So when you consolidate, you have to end closer to the closest unit, but you don't have to move directly to it. So the Tyranids was able to shift this way a little bit, come this way, and then the Broodlord came this direction. So he is relatively safe from fire due to the monster being there. And we are controlling this objective. So that gives me extend battle lines and secure no man's land for holding 1, 2 objectives and my home objective. We complete the action here to claim this objective, and this one is claimed as well, although I don't see that lasting much longer. But that will give us 10 points for the Tyranids, and we do kill 1 unit for blood and guts. So about as well as things could go, actually, for the Tyranids there after losing 3 units to the shooting of the Imperial Fists. But let's go to the objectives for the Imperium in round 2. Movement has concluded for the Imperial Fists. All the objectives for them are the same. They had the same 3 they had in the first battle round. No prisoners, investigate site, and no retreat, no surrender. So all of those are on the board this turn. If they kill the Tyranids, that'll give them no prisoners. These guys are doing the action for investigate site. They're wholly within 6 inches of the center of the battlefield. And nobody has been on an objective and left, so nobody fell out of combat. As long as nobody fails a morale, after the Tyranid next turn, they will get those 5 points before their next battle round. So 15 points definitely on the table here. And the Intercessors, is that what those are? Not Intercessors. Radicators came in from Strategic Reserve. But that's most of the movement. I guess your Whirlwind backed up a little bit. The tank shifted just a smidge to give them better line of sight over here. And then the Dreadnought moved forward to... He's actually within range of this objective, so as long as these 2 guys die, they will take that objective. I guess it is also worth noting 7 points on primaries for them. 2 for claiming this objective and holding that objective for 5 points. Starting here with the Eradicators, do you have something?
Yeah, I'm going to spend a CP for them for their movement, so that way they go back to hitting on 3s.
Yeah, because they count as having moved since they came in from Strategic Reserve, so CP, so they're at their regular ballistic skill, firing everything into the Tyranids.
All right, so we'll do the heavy meltas first.
Okay.
The damage profiles between that and the multi are different. So these are 3s.
Okay. Do you spend a CP to reroll one? You have
Yeah, I have a lot of CP. I have a lot of other
extra
guns.
shots coming in.
Yeah, we'll wait on that. So.
Okay, so 2 hits.
2 hits.
4s to win.
For
Toughness
4s.
8, Strength 8.
Rerolling 1s because the Tech Marines relic.
Yep. Okay, so 1 wound.
1 on your invuln, and this is damage D6 plus
4. Yeah, it's gross. All right, so 4 up, which I make. Whew. Whew. Making that first one just feels good because then you've got the CP in the pocket if you really need it. Okay. All right. So next one, the other 2 guys are firing in their regular weird, multi.
Well, this is the guy with the multi melta.
Okay.
Yep. So looking for 3s.
They all hit. Okay. 4s to wound.
For 4s. Reroll
Only
these 2 ones.
Yeah, clutch with the tech marine there. Doesn't help though.
I will CP the one I didn't reroll.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Come on.
Ooh.
Oh man.
All right, 4 up. Oh my gosh. Okay. The Dermic Symbiosis, 25 points. It's such a bargain to save him from otherwise certain death. Okay, let's see what else can kill him. After surviving the Eradicators, the Whirlwind is firing up. It's got a 100 killer missile and its Storm Bolters because it's the only thing in range are going into the Tyrannifex. It's Whirlwind rocket launcher. I'm not sure what it's called. Going into these guys. I spent 2 CP. 1 on Reinforced Hive Node because it's a flat 2 damage on that gun. Brings that to 1. And then Indomitable Monstrosity. So basically transhuman on this guy. So 1s to 3 with that 100 killer missile will not wound. All right, where would you like to begin?
Let's do the 100 killer first.
Okay.
Let's get over with. So this is a 3 up because you can
see him draw a direct line of sight. Yep.
So 3 up.
Misses.
Man, all our big guns.
Okay.
I already spent my CP roll.
Yep.
And then we'll do the Storm Bolters really quick into them. So
yep.
Let's do them. Rapid fire 2. I'm out within half range. So it's 2 shots. Exploding 6s.
3
hits.
hits.
So 3 hits.
You need to reverse those die rolls.
This is strength 4, so looking for 6s here.
Yep. Nothing. Okay. And then 2d3 with the...
Correct. 2d3 into Warriors back there.
For 3 shots.
3 shots. These are -1 because they're going through the dents.
Yeah.
So 4 ups.
1
hit. Strength of 7.
So 3s.
3.
Got it. AP.
-2.
6 up. Failed. All right, so 1 takes a damage. All right. We are weathering the storm, but we've still got a giant tank with 100 guns and a dreadnought. Redemptor fired some of his small arms here, took out the Gene Stealers, easy peasy. Next, do you want to do... He's splitting into the Warriors and into the Tyrannifex with his remaining weapons. Which one do you want to do first?
I'll do the Rocket Pod first.
Okay, Rocket Pod into the Tyrannifex.
So D3 shots. 1 shot. Looking for a 3 up, but rerolling 1s and 2s from the Chapter Master.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
So hit, strength of 7, looking for 5s.
5s, yep.
Nope.
Okay, so that fails, but
Alright.
Overcharging the... Is it Macroplasma? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Macroplasma Incinerator.
Incinerator. Going into these. So with it overcharged, it's flat 4 damage. So even with their...
Sorry, flat 3.
Flat 3. Okay, so reinforced hive nodes. So it will be down to 2 with their reinforced hive nodes. So, they won't just straight kill them.
D6 shots. 5 shots.
That's good. That's good.
Later. So hitting on 3s, rerolling all fails.
They all hit.
Strength of 9, just looking for 3s.
Yep, T5.
So that is 3.
They don't get a save.
-5.
Yeah. Okay, so 2 will go into him and kill him, and then he will be down to 1 wound left. All right. We've got more guns, but things are going well for the Tyranids. The Executioner fired in some of its longer range small arms fire, took out the warrior over here. So with that squad wipe, that's 28 total wounds. They've killed 4 no prisoners. So killing either of these units right now, the opportunity would be with the Tyrannifex. We'll get them no prisoners. But let's. What gun do you want to start with into the big boy?
We'll go with the weakest to the strongest. So we'll go. So we'll do the grenade launcher. So
okay.
D6 shots. 1 shot.
1 shot.
Looking for 2s. Will hit. Looking for 6s to wound. Will
Those
wound.
wounds, okay.
0 AP on that.
So 2-up armor save, which he passes. I will note, I don't think we put it on camera, these guys also fired in. They actually killed one of the warriors down here. And you spent a CP on Hellfire Shells, is that what it was?
Yep.
Fired it into the terrain effects, needed a 3 to hit, re-rolling 1s, and rolled a 2. Or it would have been a flat 3 mortal wounds, so that was worth noting. All right, but we've still got 15 wounds left here. And next up in the arsenal, that is this little tank.
We'll do the heavy onslaught, which is heavy 12.
Heavy.
Let me count my dice
12.
here quick. Here we go. That's 12.
Many shots.
All right, it's 2s.
Okay,
Pretty
only
good.
1.
1 miss.
So you get reroll wound rolls of 1. That's what the.
It does not apply to him.
But
because
doesn't apply to him.
but,
Okay.
Yep. Strength of 6, so looking for 5s. Okay.
That's pretty good. I
That's
see
not bad.
4.
That's 4.
AP.
I believe 2.
Okay, so 4 up either way.
2.
Fails 2.
Okay, that is 1 each.
1 each. All right, so down to 13 wounds. I'm going to take this down so I don't forget. Okay, 13 wounds. Next up.
Got the Icarus Rocket Pod, D3.
For 1.
Looking for 2. Will hit, and then strength of 7s, looking for 5.
5. No.
We have the Storm Bolters.
Nice.
2 of them, rapid fire 2, and you are within rapid fire range, so that's 8 shots.
Many guns.
Hitting on 2s, exploding 6s.
2 6s in there.
All those will hit.
Plus 1.
Well, though.
You had 1 1.
Okay, so that was a normal hit.
Yeah.
So then 2 come back in.
Yep.
9. Looking for 6s here.
6s. There's a 6. Okay. 0 AP on these or 1? Yeah.
0.
Got it.
All right. And lastly is the big gun.
Big gun. All right. Here's the money maker.
All right. 2s.
Got him. 4s because of indomitable monstrosity. Got them both. All right. Need force. How much damage is this?
D3 plus 3.
Okay, and you have no guns left.
No.
So I'm going to re-roll that with a CP.
Nope.
Okay, so D3 plus 3. All right, so 4. Okay, so down from 13 to 9 wounds. And that is it for the shooting. Yeah, took out my guys on the home objective. So that's going to cost me 5 points for primaries. So that was definitely worthwhile. But the big stuff in the middle is alive, and I do have some reinforcements to bring into play. Here are the new objectives. We still have blood and guts. We need to kill 2 more units in combat. Hold the line. This will be tricky. Keep the Imperial Fists 6 inches or more away from my deployment zone. And then assassination. Kill a character. The warlord, or not the warlord, I guess, but the captain has exposed himself. So that may be in play if I really want to go for it. End of the movement phase here for the Tyranids. I didn't mention it before, but we did have Goaded to Slaughter active for this battle round because I did have some Tyranid warriors. So 6s in combat, 6s to attack in combat will explode this battle round. So eyeing up many charges. These were the only 2 units I had on the board. We scored 7 points for primaries, 5 for holding this, 2 because we claimed that with the warriors before they died. And now they shifted forward to get some, shots. I do have some shots. Actually, the Warlord is open. His acid spray, I would love to kill those guys so that they don't kill him, but that's 5 points. So some debate there. He's come up here just to mince some little dudes. I just need to get rid of some of the scoring options for the Imperial Fists. Then strategic reserves. The Gene Stealers came in. They have a 9-inch charge, which will be 8 because I get +1 into him. It's 40 attacks should they all survive Overwatch should it happen. With exploding 6s, I mean, there's a chance we can eat through him even wounding on 5s. Then back here, we did Subterranean Assault, which brings my warriors from Strategic Reserve in with the Trigon as he pops up from Deep Strike. So looking to move this way, my opponent was very generous and reminded me of Auspex Scan because I was going to put him in over there, but then they would just, blast him off because he doesn't have an invulnerable save. So he would just get nuked off the board. So they're going to come the back way, moving through the whirlwind this direction. The warriors can take a couple pot shots up here, maybe kill a couple or one of those guys. But this tank is a pain. I have to remove this because that's been the debate with the whole movement and my strategic reserves is I can kill him for 5 points and he's open. I could put people, the Trigon and the warriors could be right here ready to make a charge into him for 5 points. But as long as that tank is alive, it's just going to delete units like turn after turn. And I don't have that many units. I only have 5 units left. These two in the back, and this squad of Gene Stealers. So we need to put some pressure on it. Yeah, so this is where we are. We'll see what happens. But yeah, here we are. Let's go into the psychic phase. Coming to the end of the shooting phase over here, the warriors fired up into these guys, took 2 wounds off of one. There was one left one to wound. He fired his bioelectric pulse into the whirlwind. It was the only thing in range, took a damage off. And then the Tyranids fired his stinger salvos up, took out the last guy. But now his acid spray, after considerable debate, because I could shoot the captain, I am going to shoot the eradicators. I need to get rid of them if he has any hope of survival. Alright, so it's d6 plus 6. So 8 again, that's what I got last time. Alright, so those are auto hits. You did spin transhuman, so these are wounding on 4s. That was not great. Only 3. I have 2 CP left. Is it worth re-rolling one of these? So this can max kill 1 because they're 2 damage each. I'm going to spend a CP and reroll one of these. Okay, so 4 6-up saves. You do make 1, so it kills 1, yep. And 1 is down to 1 wound. We are here in the charge phase. I forgot to mention I did do Synaptic Lore onto the Redemptor, so it is reroll charges. They're going to charge in. We already did an Overwatch from him. He took out 2. He actually had 6 hits come through with the, what was it? Stormbolter, and failed to wound with any of them. So only 2 of them died, but we need an 8. It is rerollable because of Synaptic Lore. That's a 7. Ooh, come on, baby. They're in with an 11. Okay, so they are in with an 11. Swinging around, we'll go with the Trigon. Yeah, let's do the Trigon. Needs an 8. That is a 7. I've got 1 CP left. I think it's worth it. Otherwise, he's just sitting there. Doesn't make it. Okay, so these boys, they need an 8. They are in with a 9. Okay, so the Trigon is a sitting duck, but the warriors are in over here, and the Gene Stealers are in over here. Last minute thing. I was rolling him off camera because he couldn't fail to these guys he's in. And then I was like, Overwatch has already been done. So I'm actually going to charge the Tyranids into the Eradicators. So this is, a dangerous decision because I'm leaving an objective to do this. But I need to kill them. I really need to kill them. If I can take them out and take these guys out, yeah, things would be okay. Because that thing, it can do a lot of damage, but by itself, I might be able to whittle it down, So we're going to charge there. It's just over 6, so we need a 5 with our... He doesn't get it. All right, so all that debate for nothing with the failed charge. So yeah, let's go fight some stuff. The Imperial Fists do have 2 CP, so they can interrupt. So I'm starting with the Gene Stealers. So it's 32 attacks, hitting on 3s, 6s explode for goaded to slaughter. It was only 24 hits, but any 5s go straight through, so I need 12 5s. That looks pretty good. So we got 9 through, so 9 wounds taken off the Eradicator, not the Eradicator, I'm sorry, the Redemptor Dreadnought. So he's down to 3, so that is his lowest bracket, so they didn't kill him, but he's in dire straits, we'll say. But they are spending their last 2 CP to interrupt over here to try to take out the Broodlord, who only has 5 wounds left. And there is a Power Fist in there.
So we'll pile in to make sure we're all all attack.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right.
So this is normally base of 2 attacks plus 1 from the charge.
Yep.
So 3 attacks for the base guys. So that is 12 attacks. We'll do those first. So hitting on 3s. Probably no longer reloading 1s because we're probably out of range for that.
Yeah, they were just in range.
Anyways.
Okay.
We'll drop. Okay.
You got 6.
6, and then strength 4.
T5.
So
So
5s.
3.
So 3.
That's good.
No AP.
3 4s. And I failed 2. He's got 3 wounds left. I have no CP. So the Power Fist definitely has a chance here.
All right. 4 4-ups because -1 hit with the Power Fist. So 4s.
Only 1.
1.
No CP for you
can't kill
either.
him.
So yeah, he won't die no matter what.
Looking for 3 to wound.
Yep. No wound. Okay. The Broodlord survives. Some very intense, tight-fought battles here. Broodlord is alive. He's going straight back. 6 attacks, hitting on 2s. Goaded to slaughter. Oh, jeez. So I'll just add 2 more. So 1 would have missed. Add those in. And then these are 3s to wound, re-rolling everything, because that's what he does. It's not... Okay. So 6 at AP -4. 2 damage each. So they are dead. That's 2 units destroyed for blood and guts. Next up, the warriors are in here. They have 4 attacks because of the dual bone swords. Hitting on 3s. No rerolls. Okay, they drop 4. 6 explodes, so that comes back in. And then 3s to wound, strength 8 with adrenal glands. That is 6. Yeah, 6 at AP -3. 2 damage each.
Alright, 6 6-ups.
6 6s. You make 1. You make 2. That'll keep it alive. Because that's 8 damage. We needed that to die so I could get blood and guts. But it did not die. Okay, so that's that pretty much wraps it up. We'll come back with some points updates. At the end of battle round 2, it is 22 points for the Imperial Fist, 17 points for the Tyranids. I will note, he did fight back. He killed 1, forced a morale check, which I passed. The War One did no damage back whenever it attacked. So I actually don't score any of my secondaries this time because I needed to kill either him or the Whirlwind to get blood and guts. So I still need to kill 1 more unit in melee combat. Did not assassinate a character, but I do have a chance for hold the line still. So one of their units would need to be within 6 inches of my deployment zone, which nobody is since he's tied up. It'll be basically impossible for them to get that. So I should score 5 at the end of the Imperial Fist turn, but when he killed 2 models in Overwatch, that gave them no prisoners. So they score that in my turn, and they get no retreat, no surrender. So that's what brings us to that 22 to 17. So let's take a look at the new orders for the Imperial Fists. So new orders for the Imperial Fist. Area denial. Get wholly within 12 inches of the center, which the Dreadnought is, but my Gene Stealers, Tyranids, and Broodlord are all in there. So if he can kill all 3 of those, then he'll get that. Grind them down, kill more units than the Tyranids. We'll keep track of that. And then capture enemy outposts to get to my home objective, which this is unlikely. Movement has concluded. Not a lot going on. Captain shifted this way to lend some support to the Dreadnought. The Executioner shifted up. Whirlwind fell out of combat, so the warriors are exposed back there to some fire should they need it. And then basically everything else stayed still. But we're going right into the shooting. The Dreadnought is firing the 2 guns that it can fire into the Gene Stealers.
The onslaught. Writing up dice. So 5s, rerolling 1. Oh, yeah, rerolling 1 from the captain. Not terrible.
3 6s
3
in there.
6s.
Yep. No rerolls.
Strength 5's looking for
3s.
All right, I'll take that.
3.
So 3 at your invuln.
Kills 2.
And then the oh yeah, they're all 6s anyways, but it gets to the -1 to hit because he's a heavy weapon for those.
Yeah.
But still road 6s anyways.
Yeah.
And then 8 attacks from the Stormbolters for being rapid fire range. No -1 hits rapid fire.
Yep.
So 5s exploding, 6s rerolling 1s.
So 1 6 and 2 5s.
Okay, so that's 4
4
hits. Ooh, that was a 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those, strength of 4, so looking for 4s. So 2 at your base save.
2 more go.
Alright.
So it kills 4. Next, the captain fires pistol into the Broodlord. No damage was done, but now we're doing the 2 remaining Eradicators into the Tyrannifex. They did not move, so they shoot twice and all that jazz.
So 3 ups. Starting with the multi-melta first, so the 4 shots from that.
Only 2.
Only 2 will go. And then 4s here.
4s.
Rerolling 1s. Oh my gosh.
The Eradicators are choking. They've done no damage so far.
Then the regular heavy melta. So 3 ups.
1 hit.
Right,
You do have ACP.
I do have ACP.
You still have the tank.
Yeah, still the tank. So we'll hold off. So 1 hit. Looking for a 4 up here. Rerolling 1s.
There's a 1.
Oh, come on.
There's a 3. So that fails as well. The Eradicators, no damage done. That's not good. The Tech Marine fired his weapons. 1 pistol into the Tyrannifex, didn't do anything, and then his other gun went into the Warriors, took 2 wounds off of one of them. But now we've got these guys up here. They are shooting everything into the Broodlord, who's just slightly closer than the Tyrannifex.
Alright, so we have the 3 normal executor bolt shots. So 3 ups, exploding 6s.
There's a 6.
So all those 3 will hit.
Yep.
The 6. Strength 5, so looking for 4s. So 1 at -3.
So 1 4 up, which I fail. How much damage
That's
is it?
flat 2 for that one.
Oh my gosh. I have to let it go. I think I have to let it go to keep a save back for him. He's, I think, going to be more important for my survival ultimately. All right, down to 1 wound.
All right, and then the 2 executor heavy bolters. So 3s, exploding 6s.
1 hit.
1 hit. Looking for a 4 up again.
Got it.
-3 for
So
flat
4
3.
up. Need this to survive. Don't survive. Is it worth trying to keep him alive? So now's the debate. Do I re-roll it because it's a 50-50 chance he lives? Nah, I'm going to let him go. So they've killed the Broodlord. I think the CP will be better served trying to keep that alive. The Executioner has been firing all its guns. It took out the Warriors with some small arms. Everything else has gone in. The Tyrannifex is down to 3 wounds. Now it's time for the big gun. We each have a CP left for a reroll should we need it. So 2 shots. Hitting on 2s because of the Tech Marine blessing him.
2s?
Okay.
We roll this.
Yeah, CP.
Okay.
Got it. All right, 2 hits. Now you need 3s to win because I did not spend the CP on Indomitable Monstrosity. Okay.
That's 1.
1 4 up. I got 2 chances. I don't need the CP. He's alive on 3 wounds left. We are in the combat phase. I rolled attacks and wounds. We got 3 wounds through on the Dreadnought. He's got 3 wounds left. But since I didn't charge, it's only AP -3. So 3 rolls here. If you get a 6, he survives. Otherwise, he goes down. You got a 6. He's alive,
He's alive
on
with
1
1
wound. That's not good because he can now
Fight
fight back. And if I would have killed him, that would have been blood and guts. That's 6. The turn is not quite over. The Dreadnought did fight back. No damage was done to the Gene Stealers. They made their invulnerable saves. But over here, he has, what's it called again?
Fleet Master.
Fleet Master. So he can basically do a small orbital bombardment if he doesn't fight at the end of the fight phase. So you pick a point on the battlefield, and then you roll a d6, and everything within the 6 inches you rolled, these 6 inches, you have a chance to do mortal wounds. So you're choosing a point that's within an inch of him, but more than 6 inches away from him. We measured it out. So it's automatically going to hit him. It can't hit anything else. So on a 4+, it does D3 mortal wounds. So there's still a chance. Whew, this is big. All right, on a 4. It goes off. So it's D3. 5 or 6 kills him. Oh my gosh. This is going to be, this would be huge. Huge.
No,
All
just
right,
one.
he's alive on 2 wounds. Hive Minds, new orders. I did score Hold the Line at the end of the Imperial Fist turn, so I did get to draw a new card. I drew Overwhelming Firepower, which I was definitely not going to get. I have 2 CP, and the thought was I have 3 units left, which I'm probably going to lose all of them this turn. So I decided to spend it just to hope I could get something, but I got Storm Hostile Objective. Can't get that. So we're looking for Assassination and Blood and Guts this turn to see how many points we can get before we get wiped out. The Trigon was the only thing that moved for us. Got right up next to the Whirlwind. The Gene Stealer's staying in combat. Tyranids not moving. He doesn't need to. I might as well sit on the objective. He is firing everything into the captain, who is slightly closer to him than the Dreadnought. So yeah, this is for 5 points. If I can kill him, that's 5 points. All right, so he gets 8 shots. Should have had these out already. Getting dice out of my pocket. All right, 8 shots, hitting on 5s because he's wounded. That's 3 hits. Okay, cool. And you did transhuman him, so these are wounding on 4s. So 4 wounds at AP -1.
So
Or 3, sorry, 3 wounds at AP -1.
3 ups.
Takes
So
2 damage.
Down to 4 wounds.
All right, that means we only need 2 of the shots from his big acid sprayer in there. All right, so it's D6 plus 6. 8 again, very consistent with that. All right, 8 shots. Well, 4's to wound. 4's to wound. It's only 2. I am going to reroll one of these with my CP. Okay, so 3 at AP -3, so 3 4-up saves. If you fail 2,
Yeah,
he's dead. You
dead?
fail 2.
How many CP?
He has no CP. The commander goes down. That's 5 points for assassination. Moving into the charge phase, I actually fired my bioelectric pulse into the tank, the big tank, and took a wound off of it. I didn't want to shoot the Whirlwind. It only had 2 wounds left. I was afraid if I accidentally killed it, I wouldn't get a chance to charge it and destroy it in combat because I need blood and guts. I need 1 more kill. And this is not a guarantee over here because, number one, I could fluff the roll, but he fights first. Defenders fight first, so he has a chance to actually just kill them. So over here, charging unit, 12 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s because of adrenal glands. That's not bad. 7 got through. Need 3s because of adrenal glands. So that is 5. They go through with all the AP. Does he explode? Will be the question.
6 up.
He does. Oh, jeez.
So that's within 6 inches, which the tank is. Luckily, the tech marine is just
out. Okay. So how much is it? D3?
Yeah, D3.
Okay. You want to roll for my Trigon?
Yeah, so Trigon
Takes 2.
2,
And the
then
tank
takes
3. Okay. I won that exchange. You lost more mortal wounds than me. Okay. So the Trigon kills him. That does give me blood and guts for 5 more points. We got Assassinate for 5 more points. And I had 12 points from the primaries. I don't know if we went over that because I control this because I outnumber him. I control that for 10 plus the 2 for doing the action on this one. So 12. So the score was 22 to 22 before my primary. So that put it to 34 to 22. Now it is 44 to 22 with this guy on deck. Let's see how that combat turns out. With the conclusion of the battle round here, Trigon taking out the Whirlwind for blood and guts. These guys ended up taking out the Dreadnought with taking no damage themselves. It's currently 44 to 29. I had the scores in my little, I have a little paper with like a grid, and I had some things misaligned, but it is 44 to 29 heading into battle round 4. Imperial Fists are still holding area denial. Pulled defend stronghold, so just hold their home base, hold the fortification. That's easy. And then raise banner, get to an objective in no man's land and do an action. That's not going to be achievable this turn, but maybe in turn 5. With the Eradicators running out of opportunities to do damage, they've shifted up a little bit so they can get on this objective in the next turn to do the action, but they're going to fire in, try to be the heroes, and take out this Tyranids that has withstood the might of the Imperial Fist so far.
All right, so Multi-Melta go first. 4-ups because they did move. 4s. All miss.
They all missed. This is the story of their lives.
This is the story of,
Somebody didn't rub the holy anointment oils on their rifles before the battle.
Right. Heavy Meltas then, 4-ups. Okay, so 1 will hit. 4-up to wound, rerolling 1s.
It's a 5. Okay.
Wound.
A 4-up or death. I have 2 CP. I might as well spend it. He's alive! He's alive! The Tech Marine has fired his Forge Bolter in. 2 hits go through. They're AP -1, so they're 2 damage. So I need 2 3s, or the Tyranids does actually die. Okay, he's dead. He's dead. But I have a stratagem. So I was thinking of Death Frenzy, the stratagem, but that makes a character fight. So I actually don't have an auto blow up. And with the Tyranids and their death throws, he'll attack the closest enemy unit within 6 inches if this does happen. So, because I was thinking he could blow up and maybe kill some of those guys, but it's not going to happen. But a 6-up, he'll do some mortal wounds. Doesn't happen. Okay, so no damage as he finally crumples to the ground and acid and goop spills out all over the battlefield. The Executioner's attempting to take down the Trigon. It's fired all of its guns that it could, other than the big cannon, and he's down to 8 wounds. Now firing the big gun. What's this thing called again?
The Heavy Laser Destroyer.
Heavy Laser Destroyer. So he still hits on 2s. So he got the blessing from the Tech Marine, which boosts him to a 2, -1 for being in combat to a 3, but he also gets +1 to hit for his turret weapon, so back to a 2. That's how we got here.
Alright, so looking for 2s.
Got them both.
Hit. Looking for 3s.
3s, yeah, because T's 7. Got them both. No save.
Minus 5 AP.
Yeah, so no save. How much damage are they?
D3 plus 3 each.
D3 plus 3 each, so 6, 7, 8. He'll die no matter what.
Yeah, let's see how dead
How
he is.
dead is he?
He's
pretty dead. Pretty dead. Does he lash out? No. Okay. So the Trigon is dead, and that's the end of the turn actually for you guys because the Gene Stealers consolidated back into this, so they can't shoot at them. So you take out the Trigon. You don't score any secondaries yet, though. Correct? Double check that for me. Make sure because you have Raise Banner.
Correct.
Because you got Defend Stronghold this time?
That's
last
the end
time?
of your turn.
At the end of it's at the end of my turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you will score it, but you haven't yet technically. Okay. So yeah, it's 36 points after the 7 primary points they get to 44. And we have a unit left. So here are the new objectives. We got no prisoners, can't score it. Bring it down, can't score it. Defend Stronghold, can't score it. Spent my CP we just got to get no retreat, no surrender. So this one is going to be interesting because it says you score this if all of the following are true. No unit from your army failed a morale test. No unit from your army made a fallback move. And this is the kicker. No unit from your army that started a normal move or an advanced move within range of an objective marker at the start of your turn in this battle round ended that move out of range of that objective marker. So none of these mention if a unit is destroyed. So if I have no models left, I feel like I would still score this because all of these things would still be true. So yeah, that's how close it is. It's whether or not this works. So we'll go on and see if the end of the game is within 5 points to determine if this will even matter. My turn is over. They shifted down just to get hidden underneath of this thing as much as they could. We're claiming the objective with the action. So we're going to take that. We did score 7 points for primaries, 2 points for holding that, 5 points for having that. Puts me at 51 total points. And that's all we can do. So we'll go on to see how many points the Imperial Fists can score and if they can maneuver something to shoot them. New objectives. Area denial still in play. Raise banner. Should be able to pull that one off this turn. Drew behind enemy lines, which couldn't get. Spent CP. Got hold the line. The Gene Stealers could take that away if they are alive with an auto advance 8 with opportunistic advance. So the Gene Stealers, if the Gene Stealers die, it's 10 points. Hold the line is for sure, and an area denial would be for sure. So killing them, if we can find a way to shoot them, is going to be important. After movement, and primaries, 7 points for primaries, that one and it being claimed 7. Then 10 points for raise banner and area denial. For me to get these guys into a position to protect them from getting shot, they did come outside of 12 inches. The tank is wholly within 12 inches, so that's 10 points. Puts the Imperial Fists at 58 points. There was a scenario, and we were debating if it was legal. You feel free to comment. The tank could be like propped up at an angle on the side of this so the bottom of it could shoot down at them, but we decided it was a little, we're not sure, because in the rules it says a model cannot end its move mid-climb. So is it considered, mid-climb if it can't? It doesn't tell you what if the base has to be oriented like parallel to the ground to be considered mid-climb. So I don't know. That's what we decided to do. So no shots fired, so they will survive into battle round 5. And the Imperial Fists get 58 points. I will have a chance to get into his, within 6 inches of his battlefield edge to deny hold the line. So we'll see if I can advance far enough to get that. But right now it's 58 points, possibly 63 for the Imperial Fists. Let's go to the Tyranids. End of the game here. Gene Stealers stayed home. We measured it out to see if I could stop him from getting hold of the line if I did opportunistic advance, which I couldn't do. I ended up 6.5 inches away from his battlefield edge after up, over, and down and through. So I stayed here. I was going to score 9 points for primaries because I claimed that objective last turn. I have that one claimed, plus holding this is 9 points. I did score no retreat, no surrender at the end of the Imperial Fist last turn, which gives me 35 points for primaries, 30 points for secondaries, giving me 65 to 63 for the Imperial Fists. So with three Tyranid models, 3 lowly Gene Stealers, hanging tough, it is some kind of victory for the Tyranids, even though the Imperial Fist. So there was something here. We ate enough biomass to satiate the hunger of the hive mind. There was something here we wanted to eat. Maybe it was that captain. We needed to consume him to get some information we needed, and we've got that information, sent it back to the hive mind, and now we claim a victory here today. Back here with our post-game recap. Super close, obviously. 2 points difference in the game, and we were both immediately called out. I think these guys, I don't want to say are to blame.
You could say that.
But yeah, they shot, 24 shots?
It was mid-20s.
And did 0 damage to the Tyrannifex, who ended up acid spraying the captain to death to get 5 points when he had 2 or 3 wounds left. And their shots, any shot that goes through is minimum 3 damage for them at the range they were with the Tyrannifex the whole time. So literally, if they got any of the shots through at any point, he would have been dead before he could have killed the captain. I got assassination for that for 5 points. Difference in the game is 2 points, so it would have been an Imperial Fist victory if they could have. Oh my gosh, it was so close. And we got down into the nitty gritty. We're going through rule books and stuff because we were thinking he could have propped the tank up on its side and shot the Gene Stealers, which they would have died. Which would have stopped me from scoring 5 more primary points in the last battle round, which would have meant a victory for these guys. But I think, and what I've kind of decided, you tell us, internet world, what you think. So we've both seen it done with things like Rhinos and Imperial Guard tanks that don't have bases, where people lay them on their side so they can shoot through
something
narrow gaps.
Yeah.
The difference with this thing, though, is it actually has a base, which in the rules it says specifically you can't end your movement mid-climb. So, for example, my little Gene Stealer, he's climbing up this. If his movement ends there, I can't say that he's floating here on his side. So that's what you would never put your Gene Stealer or model angled up onto the side of something like this. But there's no rule specifically saying that your base has to be perpendicular or parallel to the playing field anyways, so who knows. So we decided it looked weird. And with it being a base, I mean, again, play Warhammer how you want to play. We're very, friendly here. It's low stress, casual game. We're not meta gamers, so like, I would never turn my Rhino on its side if I was playing my Space Marines to like slip it through that gap or anything. So we let it go, and you know, to my opponent's credit, he allowed it to swing that way, and that would have been the difference in the game. That's how close it was. It was really an amazing game
That was a
because it
great
was
game,
so
yeah.
close.
Like, it was a slugfest, but my Eradicators didn't even get a single, so.
Yeah, I mean, it was so close. It was super close. I almost got wiped out in like Battle Round 2 again. My Tyranids just love getting. I was down to literally the Tyrannifex and the Broodlord. And again, if the Eradicators, they had a chance to actually kill the Tyrannifex that turn too. If they would have got like 2 or 3 shots in, he dies and I probably get wiped out on Battle Round 2. But because they choked. They choked, I think is the word.
Still a fun game.
Yeah, it was a great game.
Yeah.
But that's it. I mean, that's how die roll works. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you don't. If you watched my last game, you would see how I suffered similarly to the Eradicators, but with my saving rolls, it was bad. My Tyrannifex was involved last time, but he's balanced it out. And that's the thing. The rolls balance out over time. Last game, my Tyrannifex failed all of its rolls. This game it was making. Although, to be fair, it didn't actually have to make that many because they just missed all the time. Was kind of the trouble and failed their wounds. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it was a great game. Super close. I had a lot of fun. Did you have fun?
Oh yeah, I had a blast.
Okay, excellent. That's what we're here to do. And, oh my gosh. I wish my camera was higher quality just because, I mean, just look at these things. It's beautiful. Okay, anyway, beautiful models. Excellent game. Good times. Having fun. That's what it's all about here at Slider Games. So yeah, we thank you for watching. Please, if you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. Thumbs up. Leave a comment. Tell me about a time whenever your unit totally whiffed, whenever they had an opportunity to win a game or something like that. But yeah, let us know how it's been going for you out there. We definitely appreciate you watching. Have fun.